Coming up on today's full flight episode from Miami to St Maarten. Hi guys, and welcome back to yet another full flight video on the channel. Today we're back in the PMDG 737-800 as always, probably my favourite aircraft in the sim. We're in the old American Airlines livery, so you can see we've got quite a bit of dirt and weathering on the plane, which is always a nice effect. I'm not actually sure if Americans still have any 737s or planes left in the old polished livery, silver metal. I'm not entirely sure at all on that one, but nonetheless, I quite like the livery, and I thought, why not use it? So yeah, as you can see, quite a lot of weathering on it. Yes, it looks lovely. So today, as you've seen from the title, we're going down from here in Miami to St Maarten, which is obviously a very popular airport out in the Caribbean. So it's early in the morning here in Miami, sun's not long come up, but we want to be getting down to St Maarten and do that beautiful approach over the beach as soon as possible. So we'll step right into the cockpit then, and we will start getting set up. So all I've done is put the ground power on and the battery on, so a couple more things to do. We'll arm the emergency lights, set the IRSs to nav so they align. Coming down here, we're all good. I think it's unlikely that this version of the, if it was a 737 still sitting on the polished metal livery, that it would only have the LED lighting package, but it's whatever, we'll roll with it. We'll just put the seatbelt signs on. That can stay as it is. We'll fire the window heats on. I'll leave the probe heats for now. Logo in steady, that's fine. And we can put the packs, we can put the packs on for now. I don't know if they would actually work without the air conditioning unit. And today we're cruising at 370 as well, which is good. There we go. Right, so let's head down to the FMC. First thing we're going to do is put our initial reference in, so that's Kilo Mike India Alpha for Miami. We'll grab the GPS coordinates to align the IRSs, and we are going to Tango November Charlie Mike. As always, got a core route. We are American Airlines 2585, and we're going to be departing out of runway 08 left here in Miami. We can activate and execute that. In terms of fuel, now again this is going to be the same as one of my last videos. I am just changing it over from pounds to kilos. I know they would use pounds in America, but my SimBrief is all set up in kilos because that's where I fly mostly in Europe, and we would use kilos, so that's the reason. So it doesn't make a big difference. Well, it does make a big difference, you just got to make sure you're using the right unit. So we're taking 10.1 tonnes today, and payload wise our zero fuel weight estimated is going to be 56.9. I think so. 71% load on the plane. So that's all set up. We'll just do the departure and arrival just now. So we're coming out in 08 left on it's this one. I'm going to assume that we're going direct to, yeah we are, so that's fine. I will double check this at the end. And arriving I'm looking there, but there obviously only is one. We'll use the Yankee VOR. There obviously only has one arrival into St Maarten, and we'll use the Sligo transition. I'll look at that in a moment. I'm just going to finish off the performance page. So 0 fuel weight can go in. The reserves are 2.8. Cost index, I've no idea for American, so just use 25. 370 on the cruise. 18,000 feet is correct, so we'll execute that. End land limit, we'll do a takeoff 1D rate. Flaps 5. The centre of gravity at 24.8 for a trim of 5.03, so we'll just trim that in just now before I forget. Maybe a wee bit high, but it's fine. So it's 139, 140 and 149. So we can set that up. 149 on the speed on the MCP. No idea what the actual heading is for the runway 08 left, because I, same as last time, don't have the charts open, so we'll just kind of ballpark it. See, there's something interesting. Yes, the heading's not quite aligning up there. I'll just put it down to some error within the sim, so we'll just go with that. In terms of the altimeter setting, it is 3009, like there. We'll initially go up to 12,000, as I always seem to do when we're not on ATC, so we can put the left flight director on, the right flight director on, and ARM LNAV and VNAV. We can flick the yaw damper on. I'm actually going to get the APU started up as well, because we'll be ready to go very soon. In terms of the flight plan, what I'll do is I'll just go over to plan mode, like so, and we'll just step through making sure that there's no major issues with the flight plan. It looks like we're good on the arrival into St Maarten. Yep. And then obviously you've got your approach, visual approach into runway 10 at St Maarten. We're using the LatinVFR Miami scenery here, which is quite well, I say an old scenery for flight sim. The St Maarten scenery is powered by the whatever sim update it was that they brought in, specialist St Maarten scenery. So I've not paid for it from an external website down at St Maarten. It's just what is in the sim now, which is always good. There's an issue with the jetway here as well, but it's okay. So we'll zoom that all the way in. In terms of TCAS, again, I think is it 7,000 that you squawk over here if you're VFR? It might be. I just make it up, as you guys know. I follow the procedures enough to get the plane up in the air and have a look at the scenery, but I'm never going to be your ultimate realism guy. There is plenty of other channels out there that will do that for you. So we can set the auto brake to RTO. We will flick over the generators. I will ask GSX to prepare us for pushback and departure. I will need to put the parking brake on, like so, and we move the wheel chocks. I can flick this over to FMC, I'll just put it on the climb page for now. And it looks like we have no altitude restrictions out of here as well, which is fairly interesting. No altitude restrictions. Excellent. So we will wait for GSX to do its thing.
We are ready to push back.
So what we'll do is we'll put the anti-collision light on, we'll put the Pro Peats on. All the fuel pumps can come on, including the centre. We do have some in the centre. I'm going to turn the packs off, just for our engine start. As you can see, it's already 25 degrees here, which is
departure checks completed.
Lovely.
Bypass pin inserted.
I wish it was 25 degrees where I was. It's actually a relatively nice day where I am, but not as nice as 25 degrees, that's for sure. There's no, doesn't appear to be any significant weather on the way down yet, so should be a relatively smooth flight.
Locking gear.
Again, we're in 4K, frame generation on, so we're in DirectX 12, so if you see any scenery issues where there's the low textured, what would you call it, I suppose the base layer, like the texture that's potentially underneath the high resolution airport scenery, we are going left.
Release parking brake.
If you see any of that,
Commencing push.
it's because of the DirectX 12 issue.
Clear. Start at will.
But we just want to be using frame generation just to get that smooth. I'm limited, I've got this limited to 120 FPS. It's sitting at 114 just now, so we're nearly at that limit. So it's, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. There's plenty of videos on my channel again as well if you're looking to see the performance the RTX 4090 gives you. But anyway, we'll start the right hand clock. Sometimes I don't do that, but today we're going to do it. Why not? Okay, so everything overhead looks good, so we're going to put the engine start switch to ground for engine number 2, and we'll wait for the N2 to spool up to 25%. And then what I'll do is once start it, I'll go to the wing view and let you listen to the engine sounds, hopefully. So there it is, we'll put it in now, and let's have a listen. That sounds like we've got a good start there just about. There it is, engine start switch cut out, the yellow light's off, so we'll go for number 1. Again, just waiting for 25%. Again, in the PMDG, do you have to wait for 25%? No.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
The thing is with
good engine start. You can disconnect.
the PMDG is it's and this is not me having a go or complaining, because I could have put the fuel in immediately and the engine would have still started. So it's depends what procedure you want to follow and it suits you. I like the realism of flight sim, but I am not the kind of person that's going to sit here and follow every single procedure exactly how it's meant to be done, because it's just the way I play it. And as I've already said, plenty of other people that will show you how to do that if you wish.
Unlocking gear.
Anyway, enough of that. The engine number 1's started and the light's out, and the starter switch is cut out, so we're all good. GSX has very smoothly dropped us down off the tow bar there. So what we can do now is go to the overhead panel. We can flick across the generators.
Tow truck disconnected.
We're on
Bypass
engine
pin
power.
removed.
APU can come off. We will put the centre
Left is
hydraulics
clear.
on there.
Right is clear.
Packs can come back on to get some air conditioning going again in here, because it will be getting warm. And the engine bleeds can all come on. Engine start switches go to continuous. We'll flick the taxi light on. We'll go to the wing view and set flaps 5 and do a little control check. Those nice high resolution textures underneath the spoilers. Flaps are out. GS6 is telling us to have a good trip, so she's not even going to shout at us, which is always a good thing. So, brakes off, and off we go. I am definitely looking forward to this trip down to St Maarten. I've not flown an airliner properly into St Maarten in MSFS yet, so we've got that to look forward to. And yeah, so we've got a decently long taxi down to runway 08 left here in Miami. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you guys now, and I will join you again once we get down to the bottom of runway 08 left, where we'll do our departure. So I will see you then. So we're just approaching runway 08 right, so we just need to cross Volanta and we'll be on 08 left. So as always, we're not on that simmer, do we have any traffic or anything, so all I need to do is put the strobe light on. Since we're entering an active runway, we'll fire the landing lights on as well, just to put it all on. Just cross over runway 08 left now. Taking off with the sun in our face. Here we are at 08 left. Went a wee bit fast there. Overshot it a wee bit because I was too interested in looking at the wing view, but it's fine, we are sorted. So, we will arm the auto throttle, we'll go to 40%. We're stable, so we'll take off. I've also remembered to start the clock there, which is always good. And off we go.
Airspeed's alive.
That's checked.
80 knots.
That's also checked.
V1. Rotate. V2.
And up we go.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears coming up. LNAV. Just wanting this to turn left, but we don't. Try and trim down a little bit. Make that right hand turn. Climb power. Bringing that nose down. We'll go Command A, because I'm lazy. Go flaps 1. Have a lovely departure out of Miami there. Go flaps up. Lovely departure. So we'll start accelerating up to 250. We are out of here. Range out a little bit on the display. So as we come through 4000 we can do it after takeoff, so landing gear can come off, auto brake can also come off. We will turn the taxi turn offs off. Engine start switches can go back to off. Logo light can come off since we're up into the sky, and we'll leave the landing lights on for the moment. And since we're in the USA, transition level's not to 180, so we will leave that for the moment. I'll bug us all the way up to 370. There we go. I'm definitely looking forward to our arrival into St Maarten. As I say, I haven't been there yet properly in the sim, haven't done a full flight, so looking forward to it. So what I'll do now then, guys, is I will leave you with the cinematic cruise shots as I always do. I always try to pick a different soundtrack for them every time. It's easier said than done sometimes with the variety of music that YouTube has available to use, but I'll see what I can come up with this time. So enjoy the cinematic cruise shots, try to make it somewhat interesting, and I will see you guys when we are on the descent down into St Maarten for the visual approach, VOR approach, whatever you want to call it, into runway 10. So as I say, enjoy the cinematic cruise and I'll see you in the descent. Hi guys, and welcome back into the descent into St Maarten now. I've joined a little bit late, but it's okay. Just a couple of things to get set up. We need the approach reference in, which is flaps 30, so 143. The transition level 6.5, so we're just going to do it now. 1018 is the weather, I think. Just double check that, get the latest METAR. Yeah, we're 1018, so that's absolutely fine. Just making a turn on to the final. Obviously there's no ILS here at St Maarten, so we're just kind of making it up as we go along, if you want to call it that. Just 10 miles out. Bit cloudy, so we can't really see very much. We do feel a little bit high, so in fact we're very high. So we're going to idle the power. Speed brakes are going to come out. This is what happens when you don't pay attention. I'm just going to make this a bit of a harsher descent. And we'll fly it manually and see what we can do. So what we'll maybe do here then is we'll do we'll go for a left hand orbit just to help us descend. It's basically just like doing a circle just to help us bleed off some of the speed and descend a little bit. So we'll continue, try to keep the descent going. So the speed brakes out and we'll keep the descent going. We'll just do a 30-degree bank turn all the way around. This kind of manoeuvre is most frequently done in light aircraft. Maybe I ask you to orbit at the end of the runway for the sake of some traffic or whatever. But yeah, if we continue to bring this descent down as we come through the orbit, that'll be absolutely fine. Bit unorthodox, but it's what happens when you're maybe not paying as much attention as you should be. Just just going to keep the speed brakes out because we were accelerating a wee bit too harsh there. Hopefully this will be enough of an orbit for us. Always forget my view numbers. There we go. Don't need throttle, go away throttle. So I'm going to put the speed brakes out and go flaps 1, just to try and bleed off some more speed. We need to be at 1600 at the next waypoint is what it says, so if we can try and be roughly there, we should be okay. We can probably cool off the descent a little bit, have a better idea once we get back around looking at the runway. Can't see it yet. I think we'll be okay. Yeah. So if anything, we're quite a bit low now, so what we'll do is we'll bring that throttle in and just hold it here. So yeah, very unorthodox, but it's okay. But the runway just over there, so still descending at a rate of knots, so we'll just, so what I'll do is I'll go speed intervene. Going to go flaps 5, but keep the speed at the flaps 1 bug. That will just help us keep our altitude a bit better. There we go. Can't see the pappies yet, but we're doing okay. So what I can do now, I'm going to bring the speed back to the flaps 5 bug. Obviously I'm flying manually, but we'll keep the auto throttle in for now until we're established. A bit windy. Just coming up to 5 miles out. Start making the turn. We'll go gear down, flaps 15, so we need 148 I think. Wind wise it's saying 090 at 12, so we'll maybe just go 150 as the VREF speed. There we go, that seems to be us better. And then flaps 30. Still quite a bit low, so just try and bleed that off altitude wise a little bit. There we go. Still can't see the pappies. Try and keep this, still think we're a little bit low, let's try and bleed that. I think I can just see the pappies. I think it's 2 reds, 2 whites, I can barely see it. Anyway, forgot to do the auto braking amongst all. In fact, I've actually forgot to do a lot of things amongst all this. Lights all on, continuous. Right, let's do this. One last wing view. Lovely. Okay, let's land. So I have the controls, including the throttle now. Here we go. think we're low.
500.
A little bit low, I think. Pappies are saying we're okay. Just feel a little bit low, but
400.
as I say, this is the standard scenery that comes with the simulator. 3 red, so we'll just try and correct that a little bit. There we go. Maybe overcorrected a little bit there.
200. 100.
There we go.
50. 30. 20. 10.
And we're down. Idle reverse. Welcome to St Maarten. Just go manual braking, we'll just use this turning pad here. There we go. Welcome down. Just make that speed off a little bit more. I've got an issue with this plane where I can't get it to turn, take the turning circle that I want it to. There we go. I think we've just about managed it somehow. There we go. We can head back down the runway towards the gate. We'll clean up. Flaps all coming up. It's a bit of a rushed approach, but it's okay. We'll leave landing lights on just now since we're still on the runway. APU can come on. In terms of GSX, let's get a gate. Let's go with gate A2. Shouldn't be too hard to find here at St Maarten. Rest of the flaps just coming up. You see you get the big cruise ship out there. Get the landing rate for you guys. In fact, I won't. I always forget I need to wait till the end, once I end the flight in Volanta. So once we park up, I will get you the landing rate if I remember. You can also stop this clock. I've done that a little bit earlier, but it's okay. So turn the taxi lights off. APUs just came online, so we'll flick that over so it's done. Just head off the runway here. Go. Horrendous taxiing. Nice DX12 issue, lovely. So I believe this is our stand here, so we can just turn off all these taxi lights. A2 is indeed ours. There we go. Slow down a little bit. Not that much, though. It's a lovely 26 degrees down here in St Maarten. Wish it was me. Oh, I shot a wee bit, but that's okay. Brakes on. Double check the APU's on, which it is. Cut the throttles, stop the block time. Fuel pumps can all come off, apart from the APU's one. Hydraulics off, APU bleed can come on. Full heats off, window heats can all come off as well, and the anti-collision light. And seat belts. off, and we'll request deboarding. The landing rate was -291. Felt a bit smoother than that, but welcome to St Maarten. 26 degrees, as I said. Wish it was me. Yeah, decent flight, bit of a rushed approach, bit of a weird approach, definitely not the standard, but that's what happens when you're like me, not paying attention so much that the strobe lights are still on as well. Oh, we're having a nightmare. There we go. But yes, welcome to St Maarten. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to give the video a like and a little subscribe as well. And don't know where we're going to go next, but if you've got any suggestions, as always, you can let me know, and I'll do my best to accommodate. In the meantime though guys, have a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.